for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jennifer, roll call.
Thanks for the emails. Mr. Henderson?
Here.
Mr. Botoff?
Here.
Mr. Duco?
Here.
Hendricks?
Here.
Mr. Rowley?
Here. We're going into, can I have a motion for the approval of minutes A, B, and C?
Motion.
Second. Discussion. No discussions? Jennifer, roll call.
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Duco?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Botoff?
Yes.
Mr. Rowley?
Yes. And then we're going to move into the treasurer's report, where I'll turn it over to Jennifer.
Okay, in my report, we have bills, accounts payable, as well as financial reports, which contain the board reports. We're going to approve a new scholarship. It's going to be the John Hall Family Scholarship Fund. And we had a donation from Mr. Hendricks for it for $2,500, as well as donations from the Columbia County Enforcement Trust Fund for the DARE program of $898.90, $50 from the American Legion for kindergarten, $1,165.60 from the PTO for the Center Voice System, $82.11 from Target for Mr. Radinsky's Principals Fund, $50 from the Masonic Temple for the Art Club, $500 from the Band Boosters for transportation to the Phantoms hockey game, and $1,000 from Mrs. Conrad and her son David for the Dr. Paul Conrad Scholarship Fund.
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
Jen, on your little notes you had about the casino revenue, is that listed separately? I didn't get a chance to go back and look through it, but what was our payment for the casino money?
I can't remember exactly. It was about, I think it was between 18 and 19,000, and we get it twice a year.
Yeah.
Depends on your ADM. That's what it's based on. So usually I budget about 34,000, and it usually comes in about that amount.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Botoff?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Duco?
Yes.
Mr. Rowley?
Yes. Ms. Lisa, do we have anyone on public participation? Thank you so much. Well, first on the list is a good old friend of the board, Tony. That's member of the board.
I'd like to compliment the board. It's very, very impressive. I would like to thank Mrs. Bezosa, I believe, Lisa, for the Key Club participation in the St. Patrick's food giveaway. They've been fabulous helpers, and I would like to call their attention to our fest this year. It was known as the Artisan Fest, and out of respect for Mrs. Roos, Mr. and Mrs. Roos, we're going to rename it the Festival in the Park and leave it as their baby for 30 years. And we'd like to have maybe some participation of the students at Key Club again. We're going to make it a weekend event since LEETONIA is 150 years old. And we'd like to have maybe perhaps a tailgate before the football game for the students. And we'd like to have a family fun day in which maybe the Key Club could help on a Saturday, that Saturday. And then in the evening, we can have participation for the adults, where of course there'll be adult beverages that time. Of course, it can't be in the park, or the Coke ovens. And then the festival with the vendors will be on Sunday. So it would be August 26th, 27th, and 28th. And we would like everyone to participate, including the Knights, the school, the library, and any organization in our town, since it's a big event, and we're proud of it. So we would like to ask for your participation. Perhaps we can borrow the van again to transport people to the Coke ovens and so forth.
Right.
Wow.
Excellent.
We're going to make it a big affair.
Have you contacted the churches in town to participate?
Most definitely.
And the clubs are all involved too?
And that's, yes, the Rotartans would like to get involved, and all of the churches.
Wonderful. Okay.
Keep me updated, Tony, so we can get everything, stay in touch, please.
Congratulations. Hall.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys? I just was looking that you were looking at the calendar for next school year, 2016-2017, and my son graduates next year, and I just kind of wanted to throw out, I don't know if it affects anybody else, but having it on a Friday kind of really affects immediate family members that live out of town that would like to come, at kind of the time constraint, and the Friday during the week kind of might be a problem. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and Russ and I talked, I don't disagree, we've discussed this, and this year and next year, kind of odd, only because the seniors have 3 days, and usually they're done Friday, Memorial Day, and then the rest of the student body comes back for 3 days. The way that it is now, they're done a week before, actually, Memorial Day. So that's a long lag until the weekend. However, we can approve the calendar and change that. I don't know if we want to have some discussions. The administration and LEA have discussed it a little bit, but we can do. I'm going to ask about a policy meeting, because I do policies due. If we want to put that in a committee to look at it, we can do that.
When are we doing the calendar?
It's going to be approved tonight. Lisa needs that to set up the schedule for next year. It's kind of odd. However, I did check into it, as we talked. We can't go back and make it addendum. We can't make a change. We can't make a change. So just throw that out to the board as a possibility to get together. There'd be 2 board members there and take a look at it during that meeting.
In my last 8 years, as far as the commencement procedures go, there's been a lot of comments by parents and teachers, and it's sort of, especially with Memorial Day, you get everything from I love Sunday to Sunday's horrible, you have to have it on Saturday. Please don't have it on Saturday, have it on Friday. And when you take a 7-year block, you have, I think it's 3 years, because the holidays are bizarre. It fluctuates, where it could go super early, like the 23rd, 24th, 25th, or super late, that 29th, 30th, 31st. So we're open to evolution and talking about it.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No problem.
And I'll let you know when that meeting is too, if you want to
Okay,
come.
thank you.
Thank you. And you don't have to bring pretzels.
I don't, okay. I can.
And then Deanna.
I was just wanting to reiterate what Gretchen said about the calendar for next year, with family coming in from out of state and different things like that, that it might be difficult for people to get off of work and that kind of thing. So, I understand if we still have time to look at the calendar and just, we will work with whatever, obviously. But it's.
Out of curiosity, was both your preferences Sunday? Just curious.
My preference, it doesn't be Saturday, but actually it doesn't matter.
But Friday for you is the worst.
And we're doing Saturday this year, so that would be a good guide, because the same is on the calendar. So maybe good to just continue that on. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Okay. All right, thank you. And least but never last. Either way you want to look at it, our good friend Doug Jones.
Thank you, Mike. Just a brief report about several things going on down at the Career Center. Just to update you, if you recall, beginning of the school year, there were 36 LEETONIA students going down to the Career Center. There's only 28 going down there. There's 21 juniors and 7 seniors, so some of the students came back here, which is a good thing. If any of you know John Garwood in Columbiana, or in Crestview, I'm sorry, he's really big on doing things with kids. He used to be on the school board in Crestview. He was a custodian, head custodian down at the Career Center, and did a lot of projects down there. He's real good with his hands. He has been teaching the landscape design classes down there for the last 2 years. He's using a building that used to be used for the equine program when the equine program didn't have enough participation. It's a large building separate from the school that he's been using. And I just wanted to read a couple of things that they're doing down there and then Dwight Rohr, a LEETONIA student, and his classmates are working on laying pavers in front of an outdoor fireplace that they built. Students learn how to square an area and how to level the sand before installing pavers by using a transit and levels. Students also demonstrated their knowledge at figuring up square footage to know how much material they will need to do projects. Also in the landscaping and environmental design program, Joey Suggett's been learning to operate a D3 cat dozer. When I went down there and looked at the building, we went through there, they have all kinds of equipment, anything that you would need to use in landscape. Bulldozers, backhoes, anything. The students all, it's like passing a driver's test. They have to be able to pass driving those so that when they get a job, nobody has to show them how to use the types of equipment they would have to use, which Richard, I'm sure you're familiar with all that. Students have to demonstrate to an instructor they can safely operate equipment and have the skill set necessary to work on projects located on the campus. Colton Klasick has been working on a mock irrigation system. Students followed a set of instructions, had to demonstrate their abilities to measuring, cutting, fitting, and wiring the valves to the control panel. The reason I brought up this one program, it is expanding. There are more and more students from the 9 schools that have shown an interest in it. So next year, that whole thing is going to be redone before the beginning of the next school year. They will, it is going to be retrofitted, so to speak, so that it fits everything that he needs to do, since it used to be for the horses that were down there. They're going to have all new equipment, and most of the equipment that they get down there is also all donated, which is a nice thing. The last thing, sophomore visitation for the LEETONIA students went very well, and they asked the students to give comments to the superintendent and the instructors down there, the principals. I just wanted to read a few, and I became more interested. People were kind. Makes me feel like I can do something with my life. It was a great experience. I plan to attend next year. It was different than I thought it would be, and there were certain accolades like that. But here was one. I did not like it at all. Another one, the people made me feel very uncomfortable. And a third one, I would not come here. And the reason I'm saying that, I think it goes to show the character of LEETONIA students. That's students that are 15 and 16 years old telling somebody in Mr. Mino's position that I didn't like it or this or that, when a lot of kids would prefer not to do that and just say whatever they thought they needed to say. I thought that was pretty cool. So, and that is all, unless there's any questions.
Any questions for Doug?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
How many of our sophomores went down? Do you know, roughly?
All the sophomores went down.
All
I think 22.
All class.
I think 22 have signed.
Yeah, 22 have signed up.
25 signs to
22
go.
signed up to maybe a 10.
Tentatively, yes.
Yes.
And that number will change, Larry.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome.
I'm going to turn it over to RB for
Student achievements first. isn't it?
student achievement. Old business first.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yes, that's usually me
That's
messing
you.
up.
That's you, old business. No, we had no old business.
No old business, so I guess we're both right.
We're both right.
Student achievement.
I didn't turn my page.
The LEETONIA alto saxophone trio participated in a solo and ensemble contest at Massillon High School. They received a rating of excellent. The trio was Jacob Wilson, Lindsay Rance, Sean Greathouse. The following band members have also been selected to perform with the Columbiana County All-Star Band at the Salem High School. Heather Daugherty, David Gonzalez, Miranda Gonzalez, Ashley Smith, Stephen Burnham, Isaac Stecker. And that concert takes place at the Salem High School Auditorium on Saturday, March 12th at 2 p.m. And admission to the concert is $5. The LEETONIA Band will also be performing at the Youngstown Phantoms hockey game March 4th at Cavelli Center. Friends and family of the band can get discounted tickets if they'd like to attend. The NOSB competition was held Saturday, February 6th at the Pittsburgh Zoo. The students got a behind-the-scenes tour of the aquarium, got to see the penguins, sea turtles, sharks, and polar bears. This was the team's first year. It was comprised of Hunter Smith, Emily Hupp, Zoe Bruderly, Logan Olenek, Kayla Jones, Jonathan Barquette, and Emily Hassan. Winter homecoming was held. Mackenzie Gardner was crowned queen. Lucas Hebron was crowned king. The spelling bee, Jason Dennison, 5th grade, took first place honors for LEETONIA Middle School. Second place went to Colton Dean. The following people advanced to district, Jason Dennison and Colton Dean. And that'll be held on Wednesday, March 9th at 6:30 p.m. at David Anderson High School. And then we had a bunch of winners for the 2016 Knights of Columbus Substance Abuse Awareness Poster Contest. Age category 8 to 11, and the drug category was Paige Newbold, Billy Sue Gibson, Kaylee Colquitt. Alcohol category was Joe Guido, McKendra Cole, and Maddie Holiski. And then ages 12 through 14, drug category was Emily Best, Madeline Sari, Brooke Fry. And the alcohol category was Destiny Cannon, Regina Cornbaugh, and Ben Chasteen. Destiny Cannon also took first overall for Columbiana County. And Regina Cornbaugh was recognized with a plaque for her poster placing first in the state of Ohio in 2015.
Yeah, and I want to congratulate Mrs. Dolak as well. My 7th year here, and every year you've had a county winner. I was telling your mom and dad last night. So that was, got a chance to go down there, and it was very nice to see. And like I said, every year we've got a county, so thank you for the time and effort put into that.
Good job.
Can I just add something about the spelling bee?
Yeah.
That wasn't in the report. The winner of this year's spelling bee was a 5th grader. And as you know, in the past we have a remarkable spelling bee program here. It's just amazing the buy-in that the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teachers have with this seemingly small program that goes unnoticed, I think, by a lot. But our kids just, they thrive and they just bloom. It's amazing what we get out of these children when it comes to this spelling. And so anyone who can go on March 9th, it's a Wednesday evening down at David Anderson High School. It's a spelling bee, but it's an entertaining evening. And these kids really put their heart and soul into it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And say this not just because you talked, but you've done a great job running it, and you've passed it off to Ms. Yeager, and it was I went in there this year again, and you guys did an excellent job again. It's highly organized, and I appreciate that.
Well, she'll have all of it next year. So I guided her into it this year. I think it'll be good because it's a nice bridge with her being a high school English teacher, gets her involved with the junior high English teachers and students.
Right.
And that way they get to know her.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that,
Sure.
Ms. Voton. The school year goes very quickly. Last Wednesday in February already. Interim grades are coming up, getting into the last quarter. It's hard to believe. Fall or winter season's over, and spring was in the gym now. When I walk the halls, I get to witness great things occurring daily. And I say this every week, every month, but we're blessed with a caring staff that engages students in the learning process, but more importantly, provides a nurturing environment. Can't say how much our staff goes above and beyond to make students feel special. I know went down to the 5th grade the last 2 days. I went down to make sure Mrs. Babel was doing good because of another field trip, and I know before Christmas there was field trips, and they had an incentive to go and skate, just stuff that you don't get at every school. And I really appreciate the rigor of the curriculum as well as the caring and nurturing of each student. Continue to encourage you to review the district website to see these great activities. Mrs. Voto does a great job. There's pictures of these. They're changed almost weekly of events you don't even know that I don't know occurring sometimes until she calls and says, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Also, the winter newsletter, and I told Tony that to make sure she checks that out, is found on the district webpage. In the last couple of years, we have not mailed the winter newsletter, just the 2, and then the winter one we put on the webpage as that's how we've done it. Last board meeting, we discussed test scores. I went through a 45-minute webinar today on the release of test scores tomorrow, 11 a.m. They will be released. There has been some development since then. There will be a supplemental score on the report card. The supplemental score will be based only on students who took the test for the performance index. This modified achievement measure will be in the overview section of the state report card, which we heard 3 times today, Mr. Ridgway.
Right.
3 people, different people asked that question.
Right. And they answered all 3 times.
It was the same answer all 3 times. With the second part of the report card be released tomorrow, we continue to analyze the data. And I would like to reiterate, and I told Kevin he was not able to make it today, but he's going to come up tomorrow, the issues that exist with the report card. Assigning a letter grade is not a true reflection of what occurs in school each day, which I talked about last month. Even the supplemental score does not count for students that participate in the first window of the test, which no longer exists. So last year there was a window early February, then there was a second window in April. If you took the February, not the April, that's counted as taking the test. That student will not count. It will still count against you in the report card. That is, they take 2 parts, but back-to-back days now. So a lot of things with the test that are the computer paper, and I want to once again reiterate that these numbers that are used to calculate one simple letter grade can be amplified in a small district, which we discussed in detail last month. Speaking of using the data, Mr. Ridgway is here to share how we continue to use state and local data to increase student achievement rather than take a snapshot of a letter grade on one day during the test year. So it gives a little bit of a moving picture, a motion picture view of how we do this throughout the year, and don't just say, okay, April 24th you took the test, here's the score. So, Mr. Ridgway?
I have a handout I want to give to you, the board member. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ridgway.
You're welcome to take it.
Thank you.
Mr. You asked me to talk about the 3rd grade literacy grade. I said report card comes out tomorrow, a full report card. And at this point, our 3rd grade literacy grade is not very good. Data goes back to 2013. Plus, you told me I only had 5 minutes, so I got to keep
I got the sign.
So you can wrap it up. So with that being said, I just want to explain to the board and to people in public where we were, where we are now, and where we're going, and what's happening. Because the grade's not showing a true reflection of what's going on in the building, what's happening in the classrooms, what we're implementing, what we're trying to accomplish. We'll start there where our letter grade come out tomorrow for 3rd grade literacy, which is K through 3rd grade. And what that is you do a diagnostic test in September, then they either on track or not on track by the standards of the state. Okay, so if they're not on track in kindergarten, when they go to 1st grade, you do another diagnostic test. Instead of doing, kind of gets to me because we go from kindergarten not on track to 1st grade not on track. So if they're not on track in 1st grade, you're still not on track. You're not taking the same assessment. You're taking a complete different assessment. I'd rather do it in September, do it in May. If we got them on track, they should be on track. And start over again next year. That's not how it is. But anyway, so we do these diagnostic tests. So from 1 year to next, you've got to get kids on track. And if you have 25 not on track and 21 are still not on track in 1st grade, well, you get a bad grade. So we're doing some things. Things we put in place where we were. Starting in 2013, we started a guided reading, the Ohio State Collaborative Framework, which is small group instruction. We had training. The teachers went through the training in the summer of 2014. We implemented the LLI, small group instruction, in 2013, which is level literacy intervention. If you look at the numbers there in 2013-14, we had 78 students in it. This past year, we only had 36, so it's getting better. So in the years coming forward, our report card is going to get better. The small group instruction for intervention, demonstrated instruction to reading levels, there's more intense instruction going on back then. The diagnostic scores, when I first came here, 13, 14, and 14, 15, we only did one diagnostic assessment, and that was STARS. If you jump down to now, our diagnostic assessments, we're using 4 measures to see where they are as far as being on track or not on track. Rather than just one, rather than just getting a snapshot, we're using 4 different ones to see if they're on track or not on track. So the diagnostic test, going back to where we were, 13 and 14 were based on a STAR. You had at above, on watch, intervention, and urgent intervention. We were marking kids back then as intervention, not on track. We're finding out other schools were marking them as on track. So we were a little more stricter than some other schools. Now, like I said, we're still doing the LLI groups. We're still doing the Ohio State Collaborative. The diagnostic assessments, we're looking at 4 different measures rather than just one to plan our reading improvement monitoring plans. On-track data, we're tracking that much better now. I have the students targeted now. We're getting data on them now. We just got in January, and now we're getting at the end of May. So we want to see them, where they're at. I've been talking to this to our BLT team and also our title team, where these people are at the end of the year. Because, like I was saying, in September they're not on track, but in May they can be on track. But then we got June, July, and August. There's no instruction, and they can be off track trying to get to September. So we want to see where they're at to target them for summer school, or like Tiffany and I was talking today, and also with the title team, and also with our BLT team. When we come back to the beginning of the year next year, in September, we'll have them in a group already. We have them, we know who they are, we'll have the group give instruction, then give the diagnostic test. Okay? That's what we're kind of looking at. You can see we do monthly grade level meetings, the BLT teams, I created a writing committee team, and we meet bi-weekly. Also created anecdotal records, the record committee. We have the Wilson program, which is high instructional intervention. We have level 1, we have level 2. The only one in the county that has both levels, which is pretty phenomenal. It's a very high intense reading instruction program. If you turn the page over, you can see how we've improved. In 2013, this is the same group of kids. In first grade, only 24 out of the 56 kids were students who were not on track. The same kids go to grade 2. In 14-15, we had once again 2 kids that year. We only had 1 kid really got off track, or on track. Only 1 kid got on track, but 23 were still. What we did this year, 15-16, because we did all the diagnostic stuff, we're targeting better. You can see 57 kids, we have 16 now who are not on track, so our scores are improving. Same thing with 14-15. The first grade class had 46 kids, 25 were not on track. 15-16, they went to second grade, there was 43 students, only 14 students, now we're not on track. So our scores are getting better. So the things we're doing, because our grade tomorrow will not show what we're actually doing. Does that make sense to you guys? Makes sense. And where we're continuing, where we're going, we're continuing with that, all that intervention. There's just one note I want to close on. You'll see a lot of schools in third grade that literacy will have a no rating, because in 14-15, if you have 95% of your students in kindergarten on track, you get a no rating. Well, we missed it by 1 student. We had 3 students who were not on track out of all the students in that kindergarten class. If we only had 2, we would have gotten an MR, and I wouldn't be talking to you tonight.
We still be talking.
But that's how close, that's where we are on the right track. We're getting there. We're doing all this intervention things, and we want to get better and better, and keeping tracking these kids as they go from grade level to grade level to get to 3rd grade. Does anybody have any questions? Okay.
So on the K through 3 literacy
Yeah.
test score that's going to come out, is that our first graders as they sit right now, our second graders as they sit right now, and our third graders as they sit right now? Or is it one class all the way through on that K through 3 literacy grade?
It's each grade level coming through. It starts back in 2013. They start in 2013-14. And when those kids went to 15, or 14-15, how many of them are now on track? Then went down to first grade. That was kindergarten. Then went down to first grade. Those kids in 13-14.
So is it just one? Is it just one?
No,
one set of class,
no,
or
all of
it's a
them.
bunch of classes?
It's all of them. It's all
It's two.
one.
Kindergarten wasn't there the first year. right?
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
the way it works. It's tracking.
Yeah, 14-15.
And then is
Oh, we're then, yeah.
is the grade or the not tracking, is that consistent between all school districts?
I had a
So
talk with
then
them.
how does that, how can that be? I'm not saying anything about what we're doing. It's just
Right.
how can that be fair to compare LEETONIA to Columbiana?
I don't know.
Or
I had a nice talk with a lady from Access today, and we had the very same conversation saying, there's nothing,
okay, so that's an
We were a
important
little more
thing.
strict
That's an
with it.
important thing to know.
I know I can lay my head down at night and say, we did the right thing. And that's what I know.
And then the thing about the kindergarten,
Yeah.
it sounds like what you said was, if our kindergarten kids would have been just a little bit better, we would have had we wouldn't have had any rating on K through 3.
Correct.
But then that
Doesn't
still
show-
that
doesn't
still
show
that
what's
still
going on,
doesn't
right.
show me as a parent or as a taxpayer how
But
we're
actually,
doing. I don't
what's
see
really
how
going
just
on, 'cause the other kids may not be on track.
yeah. How does the kindergarten
Yeah.
kids affect that?
And it kind of trumps it.
I don't know,
To
that's what the
override it.
state came out with the 14-15. And I thought about that very same thing, say, what doesn't really show what's going on in first grade, what's going on in second grade, what's going on in third grade. So, I believe we talked to our state.
So we're doing four like standardized tests.
A diagnostic test.
Yeah.
It's not standard, it's just diagnostic.
Diagnostic.
We can only count one, you can only count one of them, you really only count one of them. Before we used the STAR, now we use the state diagnostic. But we use the other ones to plan for intervention for these kids. So it gives a true reading. They may be, the state says that you're either on track, further assessment, or you're on track. Well, those kids who are on further assessment, we see them down here, well, they're not really on track with some schools, and you can't do this, and you can't put them on track. But we use the other diagnostics to plan our intervention, to put them in an LLI, to look at, well, they may need to be in a Wilson. Those things
So the
like that.
diagnostic tests we're using, let's say Columbiana uses the same one and Lisbon uses the same one. Is that data available for any educator to look at to see how you're doing compared to what the other districts in your county are doing? You don't know if that's.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Because everybody uses so many
no.
different things.
No.
But there are tests that are the same. It's not available.
No.
Okay.
But we talked about, could that data be dumped into Illuminate?
Yeah, we talked, we're going to look into.
We'll look into that so that we could have at least ours available to compare.
Yeah.
That's all I have then.
Anything else? Tiffany, you want to think about Wilson? Or?
I will say, Tiffany, thank you. Wilson training to get to level 2, and I don't understand everything about Wilson, but the fundamentals, which all of our teachers are going to be getting, right? And that's fundamentals that they can do as part of integrated.
Kindergarten, first grade got trained this past summer. Second grade is going to go this summer, then third grade to go the following summer.
And that's to use it in the classroom.
Within the classroom.
Then level 1 is a year of training, and that's to
Level 1
do.
is a year of training of a one-on-one student, books 1 through 6, steps 1 through 6.
Right.
Then level 2 is a two-tier training, which I'm in both 2 practicums at the same time, which is a group practicum, and then a single 7 through 12. And we would be the only school in the county that would have this program that is such a phenomenal program.
And then level 2 allows you to work in small groups, correct?
Small groups, yes.
Level 1's
Plus-
one-to-one,
right.
level 2 small
Plus,
groups.
I will be certified through this Wilson Reading Program, which is based in Massachusetts, to do all 12 books, which is the entire program.
It would behoove us to concentrate on the preschool.
Yeah, yeah. Play the game.
If kindergarten is gonna count.
Right.
Sure.
Because that's,
Yeah.
that
I mean, that's not
drives
necessarily
it.
the right thing to
Do,
do, but
but
they-
yeah.
they almost make you make your own decision.
Right, they force you into it. Mhm. Okay, new business. Personnel, one, go ahead, I'm sorry, any motion?
Yeah, we need a motion for personnel?
No,
You're just doing number one?
No, I'll do.
You separate them?
No, I'll do it all together. Personnel, A, approve the medical leave for Jerry Bertolette, and B, and 2, approve Chelsea Sauerwein. Then I'll do discussion.
Second.
Just wanted to say that we talked to Jerry today. She's doing well. She got her other knee done. Came into the school, and within a week, they told her you're coming in Tuesday to get it done. So it was good to hear that we talked to her today. So she's doing well. So
She's title, right?
she's titled, and I believe Ed has someone already lined
You
up.
have like a permanent sub for her?
Yes.
Is that how you do?
Yeah.
And you still have to worry about the permanent sub working so many hours that they get benefits. You still worry?
Not this one, because Chelsea's only gonna be off for, what, 2 months?
Yeah, she comes back.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not gonna be off very long, so we don't have to worry about that.
Any other discussion? Jennifer Roll?
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Rowley?
Yes.
We're going to do B and C together. Supplemental contracts of the following coaches for the 16-17 school year: Dave Adams cross country, Brendan Ferner golf, Leanna Yeager volleyball, Haiti varsity football, Patrick Russell assistant baseball, and the following substitutes for the remainder of the school year: Lance Lumley and Jessica Lewis as teachers, Kurt Camphor nurse, and Vicky Aliski cafeteria.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
I'll go through this. System is getting better, Lisa, wouldn't you say? Monitoring make sure they have all the proper paperwork. We have a sheet that follows from the principal back down to the superintendent's office. And so everybody there has all their paperwork in. And I know that Mrs. Votal's nice to have some more subs.
Absolutely.
Any questions?
Jennifer Roll?
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Rowley?
Yes.
D, students open enrollment application timeline from April 1st, 2016 through August 12th, 2016 for the upcoming 2016-17 school year.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Does this affect at all the open enrollment? Several years ago, was it a topic of conversation and concern about when somebody could open enroll? And when
Yeah, we've instead of going to the 22nd, the day of school, we cut it off a week early, and we're consistent with that this year. Worked out well for us.
Was there any problems that arose from that?
You know what? We had a few people afterwards. We had a few people. We denied some beforehand for the reasons only the state says we can deny. But we probably had 4 or 5 that contacted us afterwards. It does say that we can reopen at the semester. We did not. But we had 4 or 5 afterwards. But it went over. It went okay. And like our rules say, if the person's in our district and leaves, they're allowed to finish the school year. And that's part of the statute as well. So, but no, it worked out very well.
Okay. Further discussion? Jennifer Roll.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Rowley?
Yes.
Okay, use of facilities. There's quite a list there. LASA for their meetings, special education to hold the unit meeting on February 17th. Nutrition group had their meeting, which was nice because they had food there. Mrs. Stells for CPR. Destination Imagination will hold movie night. Troy Judinsky to hold the Steeler game upcoming March 10th. Athletic Boosters, the Winter Sports Awards March 16th. LASA, the basketball banquet. The AAA driving school. The band boosters. And Tyler Hogan with the U.S. Navy to hold a Tri-County delayed entry meeting.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
I will say that we've done a lot better. We've made a conscientious effort to, is that your second, Michael?
Yes.
A conscientious effort to get these ahead of time. However, sometimes they still come in the day of and meetings, especially since this time, because we had a 6-week span between board meetings. And even the unit meeting we had with the parents, you know, we would develop when we were going to have it, and just happened to fall between the 2 board meetings. So, but we do try to keep that.
Do we have any cost that would occur to the district in any of these organizations meeting with effective faculties?
No, I'm looking over, no.
No janitor required, nothing
No.
like that?
No, the janitors are here till what, 10:30 at
10:30.
night, so
So they're already here?
they're already here.
Yep.
Good deal. Further discussion, guys? Jennifer Roll?
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Okay, business operations, memorandum of understanding for Kent State and Eastern Gateway College for College Gutter Press, the 2016-17 school year calendar, and approve the superintendent the authority to make decisions for athletics from February 24th to March 23rd. Those decisions have been needed during times when the board is not in session. Such decisions shall be deemed effective as of the date and time of the superintendent's acceptance.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Jennifer Roll?
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hendricks?
Yes.
Mr. Foley?
Yes.
Okay, my last 2 things on discussion are the building and grounds meeting will be tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I'd like to, if we can, if not, I can do it, I can get in contact with you, schedule an academic meeting as well as a policy meeting. I'm doing policies tomorrow with Neola, with Ken Yonke, at 10 o'clock. So sometime in March, I'd like to do those 2 meetings. Policy would be Mr. Votak, correct?
Yes.
And Mike, still?
No, I think you
I think you do. And then Michael and Mr. Duco.
Okay.
You want me to contact you or when?
Yeah, I'm
pretty open.
I'm pretty open.
I'll just get a date and send it to you guys in. You guys have a calendar in front
Too
of you.
early for baseball in March, right?
Yeah, be cold. The other discussion is the Bears to Be letter of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Before we go into that real quick, I just
Yes.
wanted to make a comment to the public. When you hear about these meetings, these are different boards that the district has assembled, like we have a grounds and meeting tomorrow, grounds and faculty meeting where we're gonna discuss all these different plans and they're talking about policy. So when you have either students or teachers or just good citizens of LEETONIA that have questions, which I liked hearing the questions about what day the commencement was going to be, you have a living district. And it's just like they say, you can't really complain about something unless you go to the voting poll and vote. Well, if you have a topic of interest or a desire or a thought, come to our board meetings and voice your opinion, and we will truly openly think about your opinion, and it could become our board policy. But if you stay at home and you don't come to the board meeting, you really can't complain because we are a living district. So when you come in here and you talk to us about different things, like tomorrow we have our grounds meeting and we're going to talk about all kinds of things. Preservation of the parking lot, the way the landscaping works, the way the baseball fields are, all these different things that make us tick. When we have a sports meeting, all the coaches come in, it's fabulous. I got to sit in for Richard last year. And you have all 12 coaches in there, and they're brainstorming, and they're trying to work together. Marcia's wonderful in there, and I mean, it's incredible, but when you come into the board meetings, you can actually speak your mind. We will listen, and we'll adapt that into our thoughts and our conversation. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's great to see this many people. Some of the meetings we have here, there's us and Lisa. And sometimes that,
But I do have something to say.
It's not public
I'm
participation.
sorry.
You didn't
The
sign
floor
it.
is yours.
I work at the front desk in the afternoon, and I absolutely love it. Just a thought for grounds and maintenance, and I forget how you worded it, but one of those meetings that
Yes.
you'll have tomorrow. I've often wondered why why we don't have a beeper
for the first set of doors coming into the building. Meaning, when I get the beep, to either let them in because I know them or why they're there, or to go to the window and see why they're there. They're already midway in the building. See what I mean? Where if it's a bad person or, you know, what have you, if I could beep them into the first set, they're outside. They're not in the building at all.
Can you see them from your desk on the outside?
No. And I don't know, maybe there was a camera there at one time or you know, I'm just saying what I see. And maybe a thought, you know, down the road or whatever to maybe improve that. I'm just thinking of safety. That's
When
all.
you walk towards the front window, can you see or no?
We have
There's like-
to put a camera there.
You need a
Right,
camera.
we can put a camera there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just put a monitor.
Or an intercom, like a camera and
Right.
intercom would be wonderful. I know all these things cost money, but I'm just talking off the top of my
You
head.
keep seeing that commercial for that thing you can do with your cell phone. We can just put that thing down. That might be the way to go. That's
That would be okay.
You know, we're economics
There you
here,
go.
so.
And also on my list is the gate tomorrow evening.
Thank you. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
I want you to know.
Yeah.
It's on my agenda. Okay, bears to be letter of intent to renew their contract for the upcoming year. Remember, they, by agreement, give us the letter by February, but we don't have to act until there, but we did receive the letter.
Okay.
And I know that, so if you have any questions, and I also did ask them this time for any of their, and was it in the packet? Any of their state compliances. Tony is actually the teacher in charge of the Bears to Be
I'm on the board.
on the board. So if you have any questions, do contact Tony.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Little round table.
Yeah, we're gonna ask all board members if they'd like to speak to the public, starting with Larry.
The only thing I would bring up is, a while back we talked about, I think we even got some emails from council, village council, about
Resource officer.
the resource officer.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that?
I saw it in the paper that they were doing that. I'll stop down and talk to Gary.
Yeah, and I
those
saw a
guys.
couple other districts have hired
Right.
somebody to kind of.
South
keep an
Range
eye.
just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go down and talk to them because I saw that they were looking at a grant.
Yeah,
And
the
I
last
remember when-
town meeting, someone made a comment about
Yeah,
resource
I'll
officers.
contact the council.
I'd spoken to an officer in town, and he was telling me about it also.
So it's still, they're still thinking about it? or-
I thought that it was something in the works.
That's what I read in the
didn't know
paper.
That's Wales proposed the race.
Right back during football season, I think.
It
Somebody
was
said
toward the
it's-
end of last
Yeah,
year.
and the grant was over, so now it's time to. for the-
Do they have
I mean, we even had the mayor here saying that he wanted
Right.
to help.
Right.
Right, Kevin?
Talk about that, I
Yeah,
thought.
yes, he did. I'll follow up on that.
Yeah, you can check on that.
Do they have to be in active duty or could you have retired? Because I know we have one retired law enforcement and one soon to be retired law enforcement, pretty high ranking law enforcement too. Do they have to be active duty?
For the grant, I'm just assuming, and I wasn't here for the last grant, my understanding is, if you hire yourself, that's fine, but if it's not an active duty, they don't have any real power to it.
So it would have to be
Jurisdiction.
active duty, okay. All right,
That's all I have.
Richard,
Nothing?
Michael,
Nothing.
Daniel?
Yeah, a couple of short things.
Sure.
I wanted to mention about Mr. Ridgway's presentation and stuff, because I have an English degree and I have a reading degree also and stuff, and I think that everything they've been doing is right in line with what you're supposed to be doing. I think it's a really nice job, and I think the Wilson and the way you're pursuing things and everything is an excellent way to do it, so I wanted to mention that. Wanted to mention that Mr. Rydarowitz, Mr. Ryder is here, and he had been a school board member, a longtime teacher, principal, and had a very positive impact on my life and my children's life. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have met the love of my life. I believe also, at one of our meetings, we had mentioned about Artie Aldermore, where he had gotten down at state, had gotten an award for high school, Ohio high school
Football Hall of Fame.
coach, right?
Football Hall of Fame
And
in June.
okay, was that in June? Okay. And Doug Jones, and he had left, but we had said we thought that he had gotten,
I thought
he's graduated when I did, but that had gotten an award for bowling, that he was in like the Ohio or Columbia County bowling.
Wow.
And then we also have a teacher here on staff, Rick Molnex. He had been inducted into the Stark County Baseball Hall of Fame here recently. Rick had played 18 years for the Canton Class A Stallions baseball team. He was inducted here just this January.
Excellent.
So I wanted to mention those things.
Good.
I think I've said plenty. Anything, Jennifer?
I'm good, thanks.
And we have to go to A, so we have an
Okay.
executive session.
Could we move into adjournment? Do I have a motion?
Adjourn to executive.
Hold on, we're going to adjourn into executive session and consider the appointment, employment, discipline, or compensation of a public employee or official for the purpose of considering matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulations of the state statutes
With no action taken.
with no action taken.
You guys want to go down to the...
Do I have a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion.
I'll motion it.
I'll second. Michael? All, who am I asking here?
All right.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this will be perfect.
All right.